morning. First, thanks Maria and Bob and to your teams for organizing another great program this year. I'm pleased to introduce Nova Credit. Nova operates at the intersection of three major trends: global migration, financial inclusion, and using, as we've heard today, new data sources to help identify and underwrite consumers. Capital One joined BBVA, BlackRock, MasterCard, Synchrony Financial, and Scotiabank in mentoring Nova in the program. Many of us see real potential for Nova to help us expand markets and to know more customers. And there's good interest in working through the compliance and process issues related to using Nova's data. Nova's founders, Misha Esipov and Nikki Galumas, who you'll hear from now, really impressed the mentors with their passion and their poise under a lot of tough questions around regulations and data sources. We really enjoyed working with them over the last 3 months and helping support their important and timely mission. Nikki, Misha.
Let's go.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Bill, and all our other mentors for your partnership during this program. Thank you to Maria, Bob, and everyone at the FinTech Innovation Lab. And thank you all for your patience in the last presentation today. I'm Nikki. I'm the co-founder of Nova Credit.
And I'm Misha.
We are building a cross-border credit bureau. So let me start by telling you a little bit about my story. I'm from the UK originally. In London, I have a credit card, I have a car loan, and I have a mortgage. When I moved to the US, I applied for a credit card and was rejected. When I tried to get a mobile phone, I was shifted over to prepaid. It was painful.
There you go. You're all right.
Thank you. I was shifted over to prepaid, and when I tried to rent an apartment, I was asked for a 6-month deposit. Because despite having a great credit history in the UK, I have no financial identity here in the US. Now, this isn't just a personal problem. This is an industry issue. Lenders are losing out on growth at a time when growth is essential. Now, in the US, there are 42 million immigrants. They come from around the world, and they constitute the largest driver of population growth in the United States. Among these immigrants, 7 million are recent immigrants who have all the traits of superprime borrowers. They come to work at top companies like Bank of America, Google, and GE. They're concentrated in the big cities, and they command very high salaries. And yet, despite having all these traits, no one is going after them today. This is a highly credit-active market, uniquely for people in their late 20s through early 40s. They have no incumbent provider, and yet their performance when they do receive loans is extraordinarily good, with defaults below 100 basis points. Over $100 billion of lending opportunity is being left on the table. Now, this is an obvious problem. You too may be wondering, what is the solution?
And the solution is to build a global system for financial identity. A system where people can move from country A to country B and move their financial history along with them. We call this the Nova Credit Passport, and let me share a little bit about how it works today. So in a traditional lender bureau model, like you've heard from a few presentations, a lender will ping Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, or a few other alternative data providers to access domestic data. But they're missing out on overseas data, and therefore, people like my co-founder, Nikki, are unfortunately unable to access financial services and are completely locked out. Nova aggregates global credit data from leading bureaus around the world. We provide a single point of integration, a single API, so that any lender around the world can pull data from any credit bureau anywhere in the world. And today, we're proud to announce that we are live and integrated in some of the leading markets, including India, including Mexico, Canada, the UK, and Australia. And we're launching over the next few quarters in other key immigrant markets like China, Brazil, Russia, and many more. You heard a lot from Bill, who kindly introduced us about regulatory and compliance concerns. And as an alternative data provider, we are a consumer reporting agency under the Fair Credit Reporting Act governed by the CFPB. We take compliance incredibly seriously, and it is the key to enabling such an innovative business model to working for the leading financial institutions here in the US. In addition, our system allows for global data reciprocity. So to the extent that someone like Nikki doesn't act very well here in the US and decides to move back to the UK, that bad behavior will follow her.
Can you hear me okay?
There we go.
Thank you. So summary earlier, I can't get credit. But now, I've applied for a loan, and let's go back to the lender who's trying to underwrite me. What this lender receives instantly in the back end is the Nova credit passport, which you see in front of you here. Now, this isn't alternative or proxy data. This is classic credit bureau data. It's trade lines, payments, and inquiries. What we do is we standardize the data from overseas to a single format so that lenders can consistently underwrite immigrants no matter which country they're from. On top of that, we build an analytics layer so that lenders can make decisions using data science and quickly access the data. But lending is just the tip of the iceberg. Our business model is that we purchase data from overseas credit bureaus and we make it available to different consumer use cases in the United States. We've built the rails to connect multiple sources of supply with multiple sources of demand. Today, we have integrations with 5 countries covering around 70% of the immigrants to the United States. And in the consumer use cases, we started with FinTech and tenant screening. And now, through partnership with the lab, we're launching POCs with several of the largest US-based financial institutions, card issuers, and banks. We're, over time, looking to grow that into multiple other use cases, ID verification, telco, background screening, and in a couple of years, we're taking this international as well.
Nova was started by a team of immigrants who came together in graduate school at Stanford University with backgrounds in financial services, financial inclusion, as well as technology. And we're backed by really an incredible group of investors and advisors who've pushed us as far as we've gone and continue to invest behind our vision of creating a more equal world, a world where people can move wherever they desire and land on their feet and not have to start from scratch. I'll leave you with some of our favorite words, which is on our banner in the room next door. People move, credit history doesn't, and we're changing that. Thank you all for your time.